Baseball. What more could I have to add? What more could I say about the game that I love so much, that I've grown up so much with? It's a sport where one swing, one play, or one wild moment can ignite the internet and be remembered for years to come. Players will become legends, or losers, not just for their stats, but for the jaw-dropping, awe-inspiring, bewildering moments that they make for us, the fans. Today, I'm going to talk about a concept that I've thought a lot about, but I wasn't sure about publishing until now, which I will call the thread or the chain. Think of it not unlike a butterfly effect, but it's different in the sense that these players are linked through these iconic moments, and not just a consequence of a previous action or occurrence without which one cannot occur. That being said, let's get into it. On the surface looking in, the April 17th, 2019 matchup between the lowly Kansas City Royals and Chicago White Sox was anything but memorable. Both of these teams would finish well under 500 and they would miss the playoffs, with this game ending with the Royals out on top, 4-3, in extra innings and 10. Underneath all the mundane details, however, lies our first iconic moment. In the bottom of the fourth inning of a scoreless tie, Royals pitcher Brad Keller, who therefore becomes our first link in this chain, throws a full count fastball to Tim Anderson, who promptly demolishes the ball. This is the type of ball off the bat that you know is gone, the instant you see it, the instant you hear it. Baseball players know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. And the clip speaks for itself. Anderson knows it, and here's his reaction. Based on his reaction, you'd expect this ball to have gone at least 500 feet, but no, it only went 418. In retaliation for his showboating, Keller in the next at-bat plunks Anderson, causing the benches to clear. And unfortunately, it's not one of the fun incidents like you might see, maybe later in this series that I hope to get to, just people shouting and shoving. Eventually, Keller is given a 5-game suspension for his actions in hitting Anderson intentionally, and Anderson is given a 1-game suspension for derogatory language. This is somehow only the third most iconic moment in Tim Anderson's career. His career includes 2 All-Stars, a Silver Slugger, and an AL batting title that very year. But 2 years later, he would become the second link in our chain with his second most iconic moment. Ask any baseball fan, or really any moviegoer, to name the top 10 baseball movies of all time, and you're probably going to get 1989's Field of Dreams on that list. For a pretty good reason. To be fair though, if you're watching this far into the video, or even watching the video at all, I do not need to explain this movie to you. You know it, you know the voice of James Earl Jones speaking the iconic line,
"People will come, Ray."
And who could forget the ultimate tearjerker?
Hey, Dad? You want to have a catch?
MLB sought to capitalize on the movie's popularity and nostalgia by hosting a game between the Yankees and the White Sox on August 12th, 2021. And oh, what a game it was. It was played in a stadium located just adjacent to the actual movie site in Dyersville, Iowa, with a capacity of just under 8,000. There was an unforgettable pre-game ceremony featuring the star actor of the movie itself, Kevin Costner, coming out of the cornfields to the field which had been built itself. And because it was built, the players came, and oh boy, did they come. A little bit of a sidetrack here, but I gotta think about this. You think they, disinfected that corn just for this purpose? Because imagine you're walking through that and the next day you wake up and you just got some giant bug or giant rash on you because you were walking through the corn and it didn't get sprayed with any pesticide. That would suck. Anyway, getting back to the point now. This truly was a clash of the titans. Both of these teams finished with above 90 wins on the season, though ultimately they were both bounced before the ALCS. The same cornfields beyond the fence saw its very fair share of action that night, with a combined 8 home runs between the two teams in the diminutive ballpark. Despite the initial back and forth, the White Sox took a commanding 7-3 lead by the end of the fourth inning, which had only been whittled down to 7-4 by the ninth. On the doorstep of victory, however, the White Sox could not deliver. Closer Liam Hendricks gave up 2-run home runs to Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton respectively, which made the game 8-7 heading to the bottom of the ninth. With 1 on and 1 out, Tim Anderson steps up to the plate. The pitcher on the mound is Zach Britton, who, interestingly enough, has an infamous moment of his own, except he was not actually present for this moment. Now that I'm done trolling Orioles fans, let's get back to the situation. If Anderson hits a grounder, the Yankees can turn 2, which will solidify their epic comeback. The evil empire will have struck back. If Anderson pulls through, however, he can send the fans home happy and give his team, and the game, a truly Hollywood ending that it deserves. Let's see what happens.
Anderson hits it in the air to right, back at the wall, and the White Sox win it!
This game had 6 million viewers. That was the most for a regular season game in 16 years. Yet still, even while being the biggest highlight of Tim Anderson's career, it is not his most iconic moment. Our final link in the first chain of viral moments has been saved for the most iconic. At the center of it all is Guardians third baseman Jose Ramirez. To most baseball fans, he needs no introduction, but for those out of the loop, let me just tell you this. He is a future Hall of Famer. Just like the Royals game that started our chain, nothing was out of the ordinary for the game between the Cleveland Guardians and the Chicago White Sox on August 5th, 2023. In the bottom of the 6th with 1 out, Jose Ramirez ropes the ball down the line. Then, this happens.
Safe and in to score is him, another hustle double. Now Hosey and Anderson square off. They're fighting. They're swinging. Down goes Anderson. Down goes Anderson.
I have nothing against Tim Anderson here, I swear, but that call will never get old. I hope you've liked the video, and also the concept I made of the viral baseball moments chain. Also, I do truly feel bad if this video and its execution come off as very poor and shoddy, because let me be honest, this was the first video that I ever made from start to finish. Other than that, this has been You Know Ball, signing off.